Hello, hello, hello. Y'all, let me just get everything set up and then we're gonna have a conversation because I had some interesting stuff happen this morning, and I definitely want to let my tribe know about it. I gotta let the pedestal wives. Y'all have to. Sometimes we gotta laugh together. We're gonna have to laugh together. What happened to me this morning? So we're gonna talk about it. Give me a second. Let me make sure that I have access to the comments and who's in my live stream. Don't be shy. Go ahead and drop a comment. Welcome here. If this is the first time you've been in one of my live streams, my name is Bro. Welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. All right, let's talk about it. Now, y'all, I am very strategic in the things that I say on social media. I don't post something without it having emphasis and importance. So I just don't do stuff to do stuff. I have no need of social media clout. If that's what you think, please exit stage left. I don't have a desire to even want social media clout. It's very interesting this morning. I had at least two individuals that reached out to me via on my social media platforms. Plus, you decided to send an email. You wanted to let me know and let me know about myself. Let me explain to you how I feel about that. Let me explain. Let me hold on a second. Let me get into it. Let me get into it because I want you to hear it because I know you're watching. I know you're watching me, and I don't get it why that was sent at 8 o'clock. Like, why y'all be mad before bacon? Why y'all mad before noon? What is going on that people are so angry? And the day hasn't even started. For me, it doesn't start at 12. So to get something like that at 8 when I really wasn't ready. But let me go ahead and get into what my response will be. And this is what it's going to be every single time you come for me when you don't even know what I'm going to say. Trust me when I tell you the titles sometimes are the titles. It is not necessarily what I'm going to talk about. It's not necessarily my point of view, my perspective. A lot of times you have to get the live stream in order to determine what I'm saying and what I'm talking about. You mad? I'm happy. Leave me alone. That's all I got for you. You're mad. I'm happy. Leave me alone. You mad? I'm happy. Leave me alone. Move on. Move on around. You don't like the content? Fine. Trust me, I will not lose not one ink of sleep if you don't like the content. Trust me, when I started this, I knew for facts and for reason that I will not be for everybody, and I'm okay with that. So let's start talking about the content. Let's start talking about this title, which I didn't understand would bring so much vitriol. Why are you mad? Don't be mad. Because if you know that I have tons of women in my community who are sugar babies, finessers, these women legit do this thing in real life. These women are in that lifestyle in real life. They are not angry at the content that I put out. Matter of fact, they support it. Why? Because why the young women are trying to race to get in to that lifestyle. They're cashing out. They're getting married. They're settling down. So let's talk about sugaring and finessing. Now, I'm not here to even, this video is not even for me to do fire and brimstone and tell young ladies, oh, you should be doing this. And that's none of my business. That's none of my business. What this live stream is about is for you to recognize that marriage is an option also. Because when I look on social media, I see that finessing and sugaring is trending. It's getting a big push. And I'm going to tell you why I believe it's getting a good big push. It's getting a big push, not only because young women are interested in it, a lot of women are deciding that marriage or relationship isn't for them. A lot of women are pushing the content because they're watching it. The algorithm puts in front of you what you decide to watch. If you decide to watch sugaring, finessing, misandry, if any type of content you decide to watch, it's going to be put in front of you. But I think it's bigger than you and I. What I really truly believe, this is my opinion. Y'all know I got tons of opinions. I'm gonna post it here. I truly do believe that it is a conspiracy. This is a way to keep women within the matrix. If you continue to push sugaring, finesse, misandry in front of young women, and they start to get brainwashed and they start to think this is the only option in order to live a better life, then you're going to start gravitating towards that type of content. And then the more that you are pushed away from marriage, traditionalism, the more you're pushed away from getting married and securing the real bag and longevity, the more you're out here trying to hustle to survive. And that keeps you in the matrix, ladies and gentlemen. That keeps you working for the man, the matrix, the government. And the government is people. That is what I believe is truly going on. That is the reason why I see so much push of that type of content, because we're watching where they're trying to change things and everybody's in the matrix working and giving their money and their taxes to the system. And then you stay there doing that forever. You're hustling forever. You're trying to get out of that hole forever. And this is the reason why they push content that's against marriage also, right along with sugaring and finessing. Like I said, I don't have, this is not the type of live stream to say or to call fire and brimstone on sugar and finessing. I just want to let you know, especially the young women that follow my platform, because I have a lot of them, is that I know people in real life who are doing this as a lifestyle, and they are exiting stage left. They are deciding it's time to cash out and settle down. They have realized that the marriage is the real bag, and securing that bag is the goal for them now. But I see a big movement to try to get young women just finessing and sugaring forever. And this is an attempt to keep you in the matrix. It's going to keep you hustling and chasing and always trying to get the bag when you can really secure a bag within a marriage. Before we had sugaring and finessing, marriage was the bag. That was a way for you to level up. That was a way for you to get it out the mud. That was a way for you to live a different lifestyle. That was a way for you to have a better lifestyle, was marriage. But now here we have finessing, sugaring, and we have all of these different things that's available to you. But the thing is, there's not a warning sign on those things. If I have any brave sugar babies or people who are currently in the lifestyle who want to advise the young women, get in the comments, let them know. Because of course, I'm big on privacy. I am big on keeping your secrets. So I'm not going to call anybody out, but I'm going to tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth, shame the devil. I know legit sugar babies. I know legit finessers. I know legit strippers. I know legit women who are in that lifestyle and they're trying to cash out. And they will absolutely warn a young woman every single time to not go into the lifestyle and to just get married and cash out, because it just put them on the path of hustling. And if you want to go dig a little deeper, a lot of the content that's out here, they're not going to tell you that some of the women have been overexposed to the lifestyle, that their mentality is changed. And that is the warning that they don't put on that. Let's even push it a little further, because one of the sugar babies in my community made sure that I know that a woman who is sleeping with a man is not a sugar baby. She is something other. And we're not going to say it on this live stream because we don't want to get demonetized. She is something other. So we're not talking about those women. That's a whole nother breed. That's a whole nother conversation. We're going to stick to just sugar baby and finessing. And the women who are legit living that lifestyle, they are trying to cash out. They are getting married. They're settling down. They're having children, and they're moving around and moving along. But the thing is, when there's something trendy, remember this, because this is legit. It's going to make sure you have an understanding. When there is something trendy, it doesn't last long. Remember that. At one point years ago, it was very trendy to wear dark lipstick. How many women do you see wearing dark lipstick now? At one point long ago, it was very trendy to wear bell bottoms. How many people do you see walking around wearing bell bottoms? At one point long ago, it was very trendy to wear a mini skirt. How many people do you see wearing a mini skirt? What I need you to realize right now, sugaring, finessing, all these things are very trendy. But trust me when I tell you, just like anything trendy, it doesn't last long. and it tends to blow over. Yes, something trendy may come back, but it doesn't have the impact that it had before. Now, yes, some people still wear dark lipstick, but not many. Usually, if you're wearing dark lipstick, it's for a whole different sector of women that's wearing it now. They're taking on all the dark colors that we used to wear back in the day, back in 2000. Come on, y'all remember? At one point, big jeans were in style. Do y'all remember that? I know I'm showing my age now, right? I'm showing my age now. But trends, remember, trends always blow over. And they might come back, but they don't stay. And that's what's currently going on. The thing is, and I'm going to tell you why it's going to blow over very quickly. And I'm going to tell you why it probably won't be making the appearance to come back in the manner you think it will. It's going to blow over very quickly because that sector is overexposed. Remember, I told you all, and I think some of y'all thought I was being facetious or I was trying to get in my bag. And I don't have a problem with that. I'm a feminine receiver, boo-boo. I like to receive. So I don't got no problem with getting in my bag. But it's overexposed. The game is meant to be sold, not told. And when you got many women profiting off of the overexposure of something, the trend tends to blow a whole lot faster. Think about it. At one point, when I used to open up my social media, they were always talking about drop shipping, Amazon FBA, and all of these little things. Now those things are not worth a tiny molehill. Why? Because it's a trend. When you overexpose something, when you put content about it all the time, when you tell all the tips and tricks and tactics, guess what? It's overexposed. Then everybody jumps in. Then everybody's doing it. And then guess what? People know the game before you even play it. That's the reason why. Trust me when I tell you, we're going to look back at this time and we're going to see a trend. And we're going to see a trend and women are going to turn back right to marriage. Like, I don't know which way I am right now because, the camera's kind of backwards, but, whatever. And people are going to look back at marriage and they're going to realize, oh my gosh, Brill's telling the truth. I have watched so many trends and like I said, I'm telling my age, but I watch trends come and go. And they never make the same impact the second time around. So yes, are we done with the sugaring and finessing? People are interested in it. Women are unwell and unhealed. Women are misandry. Some women are not even in the business of sugaring and finessing because they're trying to make a bag and come up. Some women are in the business of sugaring and finessing because they hate men. They mad at the ex-boyfriend that didn't do them right. They mad because of the fact he didn't marry them. So they feel like they're going to get back at all men. See, this is the reason why I'm telling you it's a trend. Don't dismiss marriage, young ladies, because I have so many young baby pedestal wives in the community. I don't want you to miss marriage, especially if you have the opportunity and you come across a man that is competent, a man that wants to take care of you, a man that wants to provide for you, a man that wants to give you his last name and make you a missus and give you access to his energy, his money, his inheritance, his social security benefits, his tax cuts, his emotional benefits that come with marriage. Baby girl, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't sit here and listen to these women on social media who are just continuing to pump out and become wealthy. And I know some of y'all don't want me to say this, but I'm gonna say this right now. Do y'all know there's an expression that goes around, and this is what nobody wanted to hear because I'm gonna give you an expression that goes around. Do y'all realize, and I'm gonna tell you the game to a certain level that you need to understand, because I think some of you don't understand it because you're babies. You're babies. Some of my OGs, my original pedestal wives, y'all understand this game. Do y'all know the people who can't do teach? So what's happening here is that these women aren't necessarily sugaring. Some of them are actually doing the other thing that I can't say or mention because I don't want to get demonetized. They're not sugaring because trust me, I know real life sugar babies, women in the lifestyle, and the men do not get any sugar. They do not get any sugar. And this is what can be very traumatizing to the young women when they get into this sector or jump into this lifestyle and they're thinking it's going to be this and it's something else entirely. Do not dismiss marriage. Marriage has always been the come up. It's always been a secure the bag. Don't allow social media and the people who are promoting these lifestyles to get in your head and change your direction. Continue on the path of healing and becoming well, leveling up your physicality, your mentality, and working on your energy and being able to get married to a competent man and raise children. Never dismiss that. That is still a path. That is still the way to the secure the bag. That is still a come up. Don't sit here and get distracted by sugaring and finessing and all these different terms that people and these women are out here putting out here. Because I know one thing for sure and one thing for two. Some of these women are not really giving you a realistic perspective on what truly goes on behind closed doors. How do I know what truly goes on behind closed doors? Because like I said before, I have women who live this lifestyle. I have women in this community who are cashing out. They will be married. They're watching young women race to that type of lifestyle. And even they are speaking up against it. Even they are saying, don't do it. Get safety and security. Get emotional benefits. Get financial benefit. Get what they got. It's going to make sure that you're safe and secure. Because when it comes to sugaring and finessing, we already know you're only getting a percentage, not even a small percentage of that man's wealth when you can actually get the whole shebang when you marry him, when you get his last name, when you become the missus. You have access, you have legal standing, you have alimony, you have child support. There's so many things that comes in advantages of marriage that I do not want you all to dismiss it, because you see so much content that promotes sugaring and finessing. And these women are getting wealthy off the content because guess what? When you cannot do, you teach. And that's where the money is coming from, not necessarily from men. Like, we ain't gonna go and spill the tea because it's never my thing to interfere with a woman's bag. But I'm gonna tell and warn the women that are getting invested and involved. Trust me when I tell you, I've been around a while and trends do blow over. And it is also something that the algorithm loves. And the reason algorithm loves is another way to keep you within that hustle and grind, where you keep yourself in the matrix and you keep giving to the matrix and you can never ever sit down. So that is the reason why it's going to continue to be pushed, but it will blow over. All right, so let's see what everybody's seeing. Yes. What's going on? Somebody got some smoke. Apparently so. Like, I think I ruffled a little bit of feathers on TikTok because it can't be on YouTube because I don't get the views for someone to care over here what I'm saying. It was over on TikTok. One woman told me that she hoped that I would find a man that's worthy of me, because any woman that speaks against love wasn't successful within a relationship. I just laughed at that one. And then the email that I got was about the sugaring content that I'm doing today, talking about you shouldn't be talking against sugaring and all this stuff. And I was like, nonsense. I'm going to say what needs to be said, because somebody has to warn the young ladies who don't have an understanding of real life, and they don't understand that some things are trends. Some things will blow over. And you have to realize that some of these women, and Pedestal, you know what I'm going to say, some of these women are not sugaring, okay? Majority of them are not sugaring. So y'all need to stop thinking because it's popular and it's at the top of your algorithm that they're actually doing the thing that you see. Social media is very deceiving, and they're not going to tell you, oh, I'm not sugaring, I'm doing the other. They're not going to tell you that. You tend to find out there when you start to look at the content and you look a little deeper and you actually listen to what they're saying. Because trust me when I tell you, women who are legit sugar babies understand the lifestyle and they understand the language between the woman who is doing the other thing when they're peas. Y'all don't know what a pea is, right? I don't got to break it down no further than that. Some women are peas, okay? And some women are sugaring. They are not the same. If you have to sleep with him in order to get his funding and resources, you are a pea. If you don't have to sleep with him and he gives you that money, you are a sugar baby. And those two should be separated, but they are not doing that. They tend to take these young ladies' money and get them invested in a lifestyle. And then when the women find out, oh, I got to do this, I got to be peeing in order to be able to get what I need to get. When honestly, I don't want you all to forget. And this live stream is not against sugaring, finessing, or peas. It is about, don't forget that marriage has always been the way to secure a bag. Marriage has always been the way for the come up. It's always been the way to get legal access to his resources. And that is an option also. And we should not dismiss it. Just because you see it in your algorithm, just because you see it promoted, just because you see these women flying, being flued out, because that's what y'all like to say, they being flued out everywhere, and you see all the luxuries and the labels. Baby, do you know what she had to do to get it? Do you know what she had to endure to get it? Do you know how many spiritual connections she had to make with the man to get it? Do you know what takes or what it entails to be in that lifestyle? The women that are in that lifestyle, do you know what type of mental program they had to do and the things they had to go to program themselves to be a P? Have you ever been around a woman who is a P? I have. I know some. And the things that they had, the therapy they had to take, the investment they had to put in themselves in order to change their mentality and rewire their brains. The way they had to stop looking at men as transactional and had to be able to figure out how to create emotional bonds with men. There's a whole lot that goes with it, and they're not even telling you all any of this because guess what? It's not conducive to them making money off your back. You are the bag to the women who are promoting that in the first place, and y'all don't realize it because you're new. You're new. You're young, and you are. I don't want to. You're not. I'm never gonna say stupid or slow. That's not my word. I'm thinking of another word, but I just can't just grasp it right now. Brill is right. Sugar is not new, and most need therapy because it's dangerous. It is not new. It's been around since the dawn of times. It's been around for a very long time. It's just the way that it is promoted in the manner that it is. A lot of y'all don't realize this. Y'all are getting sugaring advice from a P. And that's what they're not telling you. And that's the reason why you jump in. You think, I want to be able to get all this money from these men. I'm going to be stacking it up. I'm going to be racking it up. I'm going to be doing the darn thing. But you don't realize what she did to get that thing. But if you listen closely, Pedestal wife, you know what I'm talking about. You listen closely, you can hear where they're talking about the things that they did to get it. And it's not sugaring. It's the big P. And I'm not talking about, I'll leave that alone. I've been a sugar baby for over 15 years, and I'm cashing out as we speak, and we'll be somebody's missus, and we'll have access to somebody's finances, and we'll get all of the emotional benefits that comes with being a wife, because this is what you have to know. Sometimes you got to know when to cash out anyway. And I do think that we are in a time where young women do not know when to cash out. They continue to go on the same path and have the same results and continue to do the same thing over and over and over. Just because you're existing, are you living? Are you living? Just because you're existing, are you living? The thing is, we have to realize and be very cognizant of where we are. If you are in the same space you were 2 years ago, baby, you aren't living. You're existing. You should always be evolving and leveling up and going to that next level and doing the darn thing. So you have to know when to cash out. I think we're at a level. Well, it's been popularized to be a sugar baby, to be a finesser. That these young women, if they continue down this path, they're gonna miss the opportunity to cash out. Because the thing is, no one tells you that once you are dealing with men on that level and just transactional and it's just financial, that you miss the opportunity to build that emotional bond. Matter of fact, you don't even know what that is. That's what they're not telling you. They're not telling you that once you are in this lifestyle, that you have to figure out how to retrain your brain and rewire your brain to see men more than just their money. You have to see men more than just what they can give you. You have to be able to make an emotional connection. And that is the hardest thing that I've noticed, that women who are in the sugaring, finessing, and P lifestyle, that they have. And they do the work. I will honestly say, when it comes down to it, when they're trying to cash out, they do the work. They do the work before the woman who has milk on her tongue, who's fresh and new. They will do the work. And I have to give credit where credit is due. Because like I said, I have a lot of experience being around all types and varieties of women and I get to know their journey and what they have to go through. That is something that these women are preparing the young women for. They're not preparing them for how you're going to have to start looking at men different in order to create that emotional bond. They're not going to tell you you have to start rewiring your brain in order to see men as more and see them as human beings. They're not telling you how you have to go through therapy and invest in yourself and think about how you think in order to be and become the wife that you desire to be. They don't think about or tell you about the work you got to put in once you live the lifestyle of being a sugar baby, a finesser, or a peak. And that's what I'm going to do here today. And I'm not, like I said before, I'm not one of those people who, I don't do fire and brimstone. So I'm not here to convict you or tell you you're doing something wrong or that you're bad or that you're not a good person. That's not my job. I wasn't giving that position. God does that. I do not. God is going to be the one that's going to do all of that, not I. That is not my goal. My goal here is to actually give the truth of the matter, because I have sat and spoken and had conversations with sugar babies, finessers, and P's, and they tell me the dangers of this movement, the dangers that come with it. Not saying there's not a plus now. I don't want you to be around. We're not scary over here. We're not fearful over here. We do things even in fear. So that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not even trying to enact fear or make you scared. I just want you to know and have an understanding of what you're signing up for. I want you to realize that marriage is still a way to secure a bag. Marriage is still a way to level up. Marriage is still a way to get access to a man's last name and all of his finances and safety and security. Marriage is still available to create that bond between man and woman. It is still out there. Don't get distracted by a trend. Because at one point, some of y'all used to wear black lipstick. At one point, some of y'all used to wear bell bottoms. At one point, some of y'all used to wear mini skirts. At one point, you wore something that is no longer in style because it's trendy. And trends do not last. They may come back around for a time, but baby, the impact is not the same. And that is what I want to warn my young babies about and let them know that marriage is still available. Do y'all know how many young babies that I have that will reach out to me about marriage, but then they are not as interested in marriage as they would be because they're listening to some of these others who are talking about finessing and sugar babying. And they're actually having these conversations with me and want to compare the two. And I'm like, babe, there's no comparison. I am a spoiled housewife, wife that gets to be at home with her children. I get to be on social media and have conversations with my girls. There's no comparison. I am not stressed about my finances. My finances are secure. My husband at work right now. And there's no comparison to that. The thing is, even the way that these women are teaching the women how to do it, the sugaring, it is a way where you're going to be constantly hustling and depleting your energy. They don't even tell you about the tiredness that sets in. They don't even tell you about the thoughts and the constant on the go and your body being anxiety because you're trying to make the next the next bit of money, and how you got to hustle, and the hustle is consistent when you are in that lifestyle because you got to make sure you stay on top of it. You got to constantly be 2 steps ahead of that type of man that's willing to engage in that. So they don't tell you about any of this. The only thing they do is tell you all and show you all the lifestyle being flued out. All they do is show you the lifestyle. They got luxury and labels. All they do is show you the good parts and the good things that comes and that's obtained through sugar babying. Am I saying that it's horrible? No, I'm absolutely not. Because I know some upstanding women that are in that lifestyle, they're exiting, and they got a lot from it. When it comes to men, they know them. They know men. Baby girl, if you want to know men and learn more about men, you think you know men. Get around women who are sugaring and finessing and the P lifestyle. They'll teach you some new tricks. So they know men. They know themselves. They're really self-confident. So I don't even have to start from ground level of building a foundation of confidence. They have that confidence. They know how to walk in the room and make their energy move. They know how to speak and have a conversation with a man. They know how to seduce and have him coming and chasing. They know these things. So it's actually a lot easier, I would say, because they already know men. They know how to talk to men. They know how to seduce. Only thing is, it's the rewiring of the brain that's where I step in at, where I teach them how to see the men differently. And I help them engage and interact with men differently. Because before they were only interacting with men on a transactional level. And I'm teaching them how to create that bond and how to make that connection. And they're able to go on and get married. So yes, women are doing this and they're cashing out. But I thought it was very surprising, Pedestal wife, babe, you know who I'm talking to, that I see all of my OGs, women in that lifestyle, they cashing out. And y'all young babies are running in there and they're cashing out. And that's because of the fact that we don't have authentic, honest women teaching that side of social media. They are just trying to get rich off the knowledge, off of the newness of it for the young women. Found you on the weekend, been watching your content. You're transforming my life. Yay! I'm so happy about that. That's what I'm doing. I mean, why would I take my time to put just nonsense out on social media? I want to put something out that's going to be uplifting, that's going to be helpful, that's going to change lives. Sugaring is popular because marriage is not being demanded. The whole game is cheap. Women are having free or cheap sex, call it sugaring. And if men can get it easy or free, why buy the couch? Pedestal wife, you know we done had these conversations. I don't get it. I truly do believe that women are not really having an understanding of the feminine power that they have. If women were to decide we're not going to have sex until marriage comes back, trust me, let me tell you what I know. Let me tell you what I know. If women were to make a decision that sex will no longer be free and cheap, men will make a decision that marriage is back in. Women have always had the ultimate power in changing the dynamic of the game, but we choose not to utilize it. We choose to do something else. And marriage isn't being demanded when it should be. And sugaring is very popular because, let's be honest, Pedestal wife, you and I both know some of the women that are going into sugaring are unwell. And they are unwell and unwilling to heal. So they go into a position where they feel like they have power over a man because they never got over what was done with them prior. And I've been able to witness firsthand that some of them are just doing it because of the fact that they don't want to do the work to heal themselves, to be able to ask and require more. And that's the honest truth of what's truly going on when it comes to this sugaring. Sugaring is a lot of work. Finessing men, it's a full-time job. That's another thing. Every moment, every step outside your home, you're trying to figure out how to get another person added to the rotation to sugar. And this is something that a wife doesn't have to worry about. I'm not concerned with trying to add someone to the rotation. I'm not concerned with trying to hustle and grind to get some more money. I am more concerned with just taking care of myself and making sure that my energy is rising and is healthy and I can become the better version of myself, that I am always growing and leveling up and evolving. I can do things for me. I can place the emphasis on me because I'm not trying to survive and I'm not in struggle mode. When you are sugaring, and they don't even want to tell you the truth, that reaching to the levels of sugaring that they're at the levels of sugaring because they're making a bag off the women who don't know anything about sugaring. They're not there because some man invested into them and they found someone that was going to be able to make their lifestyle different. They're making their lifestyle different off the young women who don't have any clues. Like I said, tell the truth, shame the devil. Yeah, totally agree. I'm a P, but have a boyfriend working on getting married to quit. Absolutely. And I would preface, baby girl, why you got a boyfriend? Why he isn't over there making sure that you don't have to do such certain things in order to have money? I would question that boyfriend and question you being in a relationship with him. I need to hear this because I need to focus on one thing. Yes, do not get distracted. I know it's popular. I cannot cut on or go into social media, and especially TikTok. Somebody mentioned TikTok. I missed the comment. I definitely want to put it on the screen because it's important, because TikTok is full of this finessing and sugaring and peas. Like, I think what they call them is 304s on TikTok, and they call it 304 talk. And all they're doing is advertising to the young women. I literally ran across a video where a 304 is advertising to the young women and saying it's a glamorous lifestyle, saying that she's gonna have money, she's gonna have luxury and labels, and then she can just send the man off on her way. The thing is, they're not having a conversation of spiritual ties, of spiritual connections. They're not having a conversation of being left with pieces of that man in your vagina, in your body, in your energy, in your spirit. They're not talking about the spiritual ties that happen where you start thinking about certain things or having certain emotions that you never even had prior. But because you out here slipping and sliding and diving into certain situations with men, being a P of 304, they're not having these conversations. They're leading young women down a dangerous path because they keep telling them, oh, you're going to have wealth and riches. Do y'all realize a lot of these women do not even be able to touch the level of wealth? And anyway, let's talk about it. Anybody want to talk about the fact that when you get up there to a certain level, you're no longer considered to be a P. You're called a courtesan. Do y'all know what that is? That's for the level of wealthy men. So even on social media, they're promoting P to broke and dusty men. That's what that is. Let me get a little change for something strange. That's what that is. Because a courtesan is a woman who is available to a rich man. And you won't see them on social media. You won't see them on social media because they're paid for their privacy. They're paid to be quiet. They're paid to be available. It's a whole different level of what they're doing. So there's a difference between a P and a courtesan. A courtesan is a woman who's very classy. She runs and she has certain clients. She may only have 3 rich men or 1 rich man. But you go to TikTok and it is 304 for real. And that's the reason why I get a lot of pushback on TikTok. I'm quite sure the people that are emailing me and commenting on my page, it is from TikTok. It is not from YouTube because I don't got the views for them to care what I say over here. I just don't got the views. I got them on TikTok though. And so they're coming over here just being a nuisance. That's all. Just being a nuisance. End up getting a solicitation charge. Absolutely. I don't know what they're doing because on TikTok, I'm trying to figure out, is that legal? Could that possibly be legal for 304s to be advertising on TikTok? And they were in there giving y'all, they were getting, this is how bad it is on TikTok with 304s advertising to young women. They were telling young women that you should, when you put out ads, to not put your entire face on the ad, because once you put your entire face out on the ad, then your entire family and the community may know what you're doing. They may know that you're a P. And that's what the P's are doing on TikTok, the 304s. They're over there advertising. So I want young women to realize that marriage is still a level up. It is still respectable. It is still a come up. It is still a secure the bag. It is a way for you to connect, have family. It is still honorable. Don't get so distracted by a trend because trends blow over. At one time, we were doing so many things that were trendy. At one time, we've seen fashion come and go. We've seen slang come and go. And we've seen trends come and go. This is a trend. This is a trend. And it is also not only a trend. I know somebody might get mad with this, but let's be honest. It's a money grab also. It's a money grab also. Because the ones that don't do teach. So they're out here teaching young women their ways that they didn't even have. That's the reason why some of the advice, remember Pedestal, why we had these conversations in the group and you realize that some of the advice didn't work? You like, this is not sugar baby and advice. This is P advice. And I agree because you can see why they're giving out the wrong advice because they're not doing exactly what they said they were doing. They're not doing it. And then here comes the argument, be like, well, you would do it with a man that don't care about you. Like, come on, y'all. Let's not compare a relationship to a P relationship. Please don't compare it. It makes no sense. Especially what happens when a woman does these things and come up with spiritual ties. where a woman does these things and come up with mental issues. A woman who does these things come up looking and seeing and thinking men of a certain way, and they have a hard time connecting with healthy men because of it. So don't compare she doing for free in a relationship to a P relationship. Please don't do it, because we know it's bigger than that. We know it's bigger than that. Now, I will compare it. If I want to make that comparison, I'll make the comparison if you are saying that you have to have love. I can make that comparison all day, because I'm still talking about marriage. Like, that is my bag. I'm always going to promote to the young women and the women of my community to get married and cash out. And send me an invitation to the wedding, because I love weddings. I tend to go to them. If you're give me a sufficient amount of time, though. Don't send me one out the blue, because I've had that happen and I couldn't go. And I don't like to disappoint my girls of the community. You shouldn't have a boyfriend. You still have to work. You better off with the SC if that's the case. Just date, get spoiled, and marry the best one. Commitment without marriage is low thinking. Absolutely. Yeah. But see, the thing is, it's advertised so heavily on social media that they may not even recognize it. Do y'all know how many women who are P's had boyfriends on social media? So the thing is, these women are modeling something, and the young women are ingesting it. They are consuming it, not realizing the best avenue, the best way to secure a bag and protect your mentality and to be able to grow as a woman and to rest in your femininity and to have a family and to have safety and security is marriage. That will never be a trend. It will always come through and be the real bag. Don't get distracted by what you see out here, because even I feel like the content or the content creators who promote more of along the line of marriage, they are suppressed a little bit. They are, because the algorithm is gonna put in front of you what you watch. So if young women are consuming all that content about sugaring, finessing, and P, they're consuming all that content about 304s. They're showing up and liking and commenting in the comment section. Of course, the algorithm is gonna push it. But also, I know the matrix is smiling down on you. Why? Because it's going to keep you in hustle mode. It's going to keep you in grind mode. It's going to keep you your focus on trying to survive versus just being in a taken care of and safe and secure within a marriage. So it's going to keep you distracted, and you're going to stay in the struggle, and you're going to continue to give money to the matrix and stay within the matrix and try to struggle within the matrix. So it works all out. It works out overall. So that's the reason why there's not been a push at these platforms. Because don't y'all think that some of this stuff would be somewhat illegal? Don't y'all think the level of advertisement I'm seeing on social media should be illegal? Especially when it's hitting home to our young babies, I would say between 18 and 23. Between 18 and 23, they're getting hit on all sides of being a sugaring or finessing or being a P or 304. And they're getting hit all sides. And I'm like, shouldn't this be illegal? How is this woman allowed to advertise her services on TikTok? How is she allowed to advertise to train on TikTok and have master classes on TikTok? And I'm trying to figure out, baby girl, I ain't trying to be nosy, but I would love to know, what are y'all training for? To me, it sounds like it's very easy. He come with money, you come with you come with that, and y'all exchange. So I'm trying to figure out, what's the masterclass for? What do you got to learn? What do you got to learn to be a P? What do you got to learn to be a 304? Because I know if it was on YouTube, I'm quite sure YouTube would shut that ish down, because they try to strike you and pull your stuff down real quick, like in a hurry. That's why I'm very careful about what I say, because I feel like the content needs to get out there. It needs to be heard. I want it to be seen, and I have to actually watch my P's and Q's, because YouTube is very sensitive. So how is P's out here, 304s out here on TikTok advertising their services and having master classes? How they having full-blown master classes on how to be a 304? Like, what are you doing? I am very curious, because I don't understand what you can be selling when it comes to that very thing. I met a guy who works for TikTok who said the algorithm is built that all topics get a lot of views, which is why people grow super fast on TikTok compared to YouTube and Facebook. I can agree with that because when I look at my content, my TikTok, it would, for what it took me so long to grow on YouTube, I've already surpassed it over on TikTok. That's the reason I say I get the views and I also get the hatred. One woman said, I hate women. Another woman said that a woman who speaks against love, she must haven't found a worthy man. Another woman said I need to be teaching finessing and sugaring, and because no marriage is not in. Like, so I get a lot of hate over there for what I talk about. But I'm gonna do what's right. You know, I'm gonna do what I feel like is best. What I feel like is best for the community and what needs to be heard. But do not allow yourself to get distracted by a trend. Trends come and go. They may come back and have a small impact, but trust me when I tell you the impact will not be the same in the first time it showed up. And sugaring has been around a long time. Only thing about it is that we just have the social media for it to be mainstream. Before it was done in the dark. Before no one spoke of it. Before the game was sold and not told. You literally had to hook up with the right person and they would never go on social media. They would never have pictures. They would never be spreading their business all over social media in this manner. So since the game is so overexposed and lines are beginning to cross, now I think now we get to the point where women don't even understand the difference between a sugar baby and a pea. They think they're the same. Trust me, I have all the conversation with this all the time on social media, especially on TikTok, because I have more of a younger crowd over there. And I keep pushing marriage because marriage is really the real bag. Marriage is really the safety and security. Marriage is really the emotional benefit that you will not get when you're just having a transactional relationship. Marriage is really the come up. It always has been, it always will be. When sugaring fade away and nobody's finessing and nobody's doing big P and nobody's 3 or 4, marriage will always be the way to the level up and the way for safety and security for women. All the things that they're talking about when it comes to sugaring and finessing and peeing, I can get that within a healthy marriage. I can get that within my marriage of 21 years to my husband. I can get all the perks, the luxury, the labels. I can get all of the emotional benefit. I can get all of the love and attention and validation and access to his finances all in one shebang, something called marriage. So young women, I do not want you to get distracted. And I felt like I need to have this conversation because I have the ear of the youth. I have the ear of the youth. And I feel like it's my duty as an older, I don't like to say older, as the HPWIC, it is my duty to warn the young women of my community. Because I know some of you all followed me from TikTok, so you know what I'm talking about. You know how diluted and how crazy it has gotten over there. You know how women are over there promoting and posting and being 304s in the open. You know how they over there having whole master classes on how to get with a man and exchange in that manner. And it's interesting that I see, and I'm like, why isn't social media shutting this down? Like, that could be problematic overall, but it's not being shut down. It's actually being promoted more. Sugaring seems easy and attractive, but it requires a lot of psychology, chess, polished learning, and game. If you're not a P, finesse equal hustling and is not secure. He's here today, gone tomorrow, roster up. See, thank you, babe. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for stating that. Because some women don't understand. They don't understand what it really entails. So they get in it. And the thing is, some of y'all, let's just be honest. You know, tell the truth, shame the devil. Let's be honest. Some young women are getting into it because they would rather get into that versus healing and getting into a healthy marriage because they are mad at men. Let's tell the truth. Some women are getting in because they're mad at men. That's what they're angry. They're angry that they had a baby by that man and it didn't work out. They're angry because they feel like that man lied to them. They're angry at men. So they feel like this is a way to hit back. And that's another reason why sugaring is very is on top right now. Sugaring, finessing, all 304s, all those things are on top right now because of the fact that women are angry. And the thing is, you can't avoid it forever. You can't avoid your anger forever. You cannot avoid that you're unhealed and unwell forever. You cannot avoid that you need to do the work forever. You cannot avoid you forever. So this is my message to my young baby pedestal wives who are just learning about these terms and just getting introduced to the game and just trying to learn how to better themselves. Don't get caught up in this. Marriage will always be the come up. I have firsthand knowledge. I have tons of sugar babies and finessers and peas in my community because I don't judge. That's not my business. I am not about fire and brimstone. I am not about, hey, you're doing something wrong over there, look at you, because those things don't work. But I know what does work when I come and meet you where you are and talk to you in a manner that where you are a woman and have that woman to woman talk. I know you hear me. I know you understand me. I know that I'm not trying to be mean to you or trying to make fun of you or tell you you're doing something bad. I'm telling you now, trends fade away. They blow over. They're not in. And with the overexposure of the game in a manner that has been done, sugaring, finessing, and P and 304s will be nothing but a trend eventually. And if you're young, beautiful, attractive, it's not worth risking your energy. It's not worth having to figure out playing chess every time or manipulation in order to be able to have a relationship or be at 2 steps ahead of that man because you want to get his finances. Well, you can get his finances legally. You can marry his finances. You can have your name on all the accounts. And legally, you're supposed to get access anyway. So if you don't give it to you in a legal means, baby, you can get them in the other on the back end, as they say. So don't think that the only way, the only path is sugaring, finessing on 304. Don't think that's the only way that you can get access to a bag. Getting some man's last name, becoming his missus, having his children, letting him provide safety and security for you is still available. Marriage has always been a come up for women. It's always been to the betterment of women. We've just forgotten about it in all of the noise. We've forgotten about it in all of the popularity and the trends because sugaring, finessing, and 304 and being a P is trending. So everybody's promoting it. And then some of these women, the coaches, the gurus that are in these spaces, they're promoting it in a manner so that they can get wealthy and exit. You are the cash out. I'm pausing for effect because you are the cash out. You are the bag. They couldn't do, so they teach it. And they cash out on young women. And the young women get into the lifestyle and they're wondering, why is it not working? Because that woman was never sugaring. Pedestal wife, we've had these conversations where some women aren't sugaring. They're peeing. They're 304s. And honestly, that's okay if that's them. But don't package it as something else and have the masses deceived and tricked, thinking that you're getting a bag off a man when you're actually doing the big P or being a 304 with that particular man. And I see that happening all over social media. Kuko, I don't know how to say that name. Hope I'm saying it right. Y'all know I'm bad with names. Definitely just admitted that she is a P, but she still titles her video advice for SPs. See, and I'm over it. I'm over it. Because if you listen well, we have done studies at one point I used to have a group. I am going to open up the group back. That's the announcement. I'm going to open up the group back eventually. Maybe in the winter time, I have some things I need to complete and do first. But when we were in our group, we looked at stuff like this. We were able to tell who was actually a 304, a P, and who was actually a sugar baby. And we determined that majority of them were actually P's and 304s. But they're packaging it as sugar babies. And see, that's deceiving and deceptive. And you have to realize that when you are the bag, that's the reason why they're on social media. That's the reason why they're overexposing the game. That's the reason they're advertising the way they're advertising is because of the fact they cannot do to their teaching. And they know right now there's some popularity into talking about sugaring and finessing and 304s and P's. They know it's in right now because it's a trend. Like I said, trends end. Trust me when I tell you, if we sit back and look at this moment, and since I did a video, it's going to be able to age very well. I guarantee you in the next 5 years or so, this will be a trend. You will not see as much content about it. It won't be as pushed as much. It'll probably be something else at that time. I'm hoping that platforms like mine, marriage will come back in style. And women will learn that they need to be within a marriage and provided for and offer safety and security. They need to protect their womb and marry before they carry. They need to make sure that the man is able to provide and take care of a family. That hopefully is the next thing that's going to come back. And I'm hopefully it comes back stronger than ever. So yes, you can get all the things that y'all are seeing on social media. You're seeing finessing, sugaring, hustling, grinding to get his money and get in his pockets. Y'all are stressing yourself, sweating, and trying to get access to this man's resources. When you can get access to this man's resources by getting his last name. You can get access to his resources by being the missus. And it's the simplest finesse in the book. It's the best one. It's the easiest one. Women should be trying to gravitate towards the most easiest solution versus trying to get towards one that's going to have you sweating and thinking and figuring out how to manipulate and how to get 2 steps ahead and how to get into his pocket and get access to his resources. I see a lot of them celebrating online. Oh, I got his credit card. Baby, I had his credit card 21 years ago. Catch up. Oh, I got access to his investments. Baby, I had his access to his investments 21 years ago. Catch up. Y'all are behind wives. Do y'all realize y'all behind wives? Catch up. I got access to everything that his name is on. Catch up. So I don't have to brag about getting access to his credit card. I don't have to brag about getting access to his investments. I don't have to brag about getting access to his bank accounts. I got access to those things. Catch up. Y'all are catching. You need to catch up to wives and get onto the wavelength of being a wife. Cash out. Cash out. Get married. That's the real finesse. You can have all these things they're advertising, including having sex with one man. You don't have to have sex with multiple men. You don't have to be a 3 or 4. You don't have to maybe catch something. You don't have to mess up your mental health. You don't have to be 2 steps ahead. You don't have to manipulate him. Catch up to a wife. That's what we need to be pushing. And I'm so happy that even the women who do these things in my community, they'll tell you in a minute, get married. They will tell you in a minute, get a ring on your finger, get your name on those papers, and get access to everything. And we can do these things by being a wife. Y'all are making things hard. Like just what a Pedestal wife just said a minute ago, it's hard, it's taxing, it's a grind, it's a hustle. Being a wife is not a hustle. It's easy. It's wonderful. I feel like being a wife is the finesse of the century. I done put off the finesse of the century where y'all are trying to catch up to one. Be a wife, but get his last name, become a miss, have access to his investments, have legal and legalities set up for protection. Be a wife. There's another way to secure the bag, and it's called being a miss. Don't get caught up being a 3 or 4, a finesse, a sugar baby, doing all these things when you can have the finesse of the century and be a wife. Y'all see all these men up here on social media hurting and crying about losing all their things and losing half? When you are a sugar baby, the man won't lose half. He can just walk away with all his resources and leave you where he left you or where he found you. And he may leave you better than he found you or worse than where he found you. Since I am a wife, if I was to walk away, I'm walking over with half, probably more than that, because I was around before he became the great man that he is. So I have managed to have the finesse of the century and be a wife. So don't get caught up in trying to get in these games and manipulation and all these tactics and techniques that you got to be invested involved in. And you stressing your pretty head, losing some of your edges, hair thinning out, losing weight, because you're going through all of these things, trying to hustle and try to figure out how to manipulate to get access to this man's resources, when you can just commit the finesse of the century and become a wife. And you can make it easy. Don't listen to these people on social media who make wife sound like codependency. That's another video I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the marriage and life and wife of being a pedestal wife and what that looks like, because they make everything hard. They make everything codependent. They don't make anything appealing. So I can see where they're making marriage look as though it's unappealing, when it is very easy, and it is actually worth it. Thank you for this video. These sugaring gurus are selling big old delusions. Pedestal wife. Do you remember when we looked at a certain big top sugar baby, and she was showing a picture of all her people in her community, and she was sitting here talking about how they were going to be, what was the term? I can't remember what the word was. But when we looked at that picture and we looked at a community, we already knew she was finessing them. And we already knew that they were the bag. That's how she's having her lifestyle. It has nothing to do with the men that she's dealing with. It has everything to do with her finessing the women out of their hard-earned coins. Like, it's not my job to call it out, but it is my job to represent marriage well. It is my job to help young women know that there's other options. It is my job to let women know as an elder that you don't have to do all of these things. You don't have to sit here and try to figure out how to manipulate, how to play the games, how to be 2 steps ahead of a man. You don't have to do all of these things in order to get access to resources when you can just commit the finesse of the century by becoming his wife. But marriage requires long-term investment. Sugaring P is easy. It appears easy. But the women who actually live that lifestyle, they'll tell you that it is not easy. They always have to be 2 steps ahead of the man that they're in a relationship. They always have to be on the prowl to get another one just in case one decides to leave. They always have to figure out how to deal with that particular man. I mean, you can do all that with one man, and you can learn how to deal with him, and you can get to know him, and you can deal and have his babies. And marriage is actually easier. Especially if you want, let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about the women and how you have to rewire your brain once you come out of a situation like that, where it's nothing but transactional and you haven't created any type of emotional bond with that man. So you're clueless on how to create an emotional bond with the man because you spent the entire time of learning how to finesse and sugar. You spent the entire time of trying to figure out how to get to his resources, but you haven't figured out how to connect with the man. Do y'all realize that when you have an emotional bond with the man, a man will jump through hoops for you, a man will jump over mountains for you, a man will die for you when he has the emotional bond. But when a man only sees you and knows that you're just there for the transaction, for the money, he might move aside. He might just let whatever happen to you. He's not concerned about being responsible for you. He doesn't see you as a responsibility. But his wife, but the missus, but the woman he gives access to his resources, she's the one he's willing to do any and everything for. So you're missing out on a lot of benefits of marriage. It goes beyond. Of course, he's going to take care of you financially. But think about it like this, and I posted this on my TikTok in my stories. I showed a picture, and this is a whole conversation going on Facebook, y'all. They were talking about what happens when a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they come across a situation, and maybe the girlfriend is going to get pew, 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 right? The boyfriends in the comments were talking about how they would jump aside and go visit the woman in the ICU. See, a husband, he ain't thinking along that line. He thinking about how he got to take a bullet for this woman. He thinking about how he got to jump in traffic for this woman. He thinking about how he got to take the shot for this woman. That's what women are missing out on also. You're missing out on a part of protection that you're letting go for 304 and finesse and sugaring. Remember, this live stream is not for me to be fire and brimstone. This live stream is for me I want you all to recognize the benefits of marriage. I want you to recognize what you can obtain from marriage and not just get distracted. Now, if you want to be a part of the sugaring community, the finessing community, the P community, the 304, baby, it is you. It is yours. It is your life. I can't stop you. I'm not here to try to stop you. I'm not here to persuade you. I'm just here to let you know that marriage is still a bag. You can still secure it with marriage. You can get all these things that they're advertising within a marriage. I'd rather have access to the whole bank account instead of trying to negotiate an allowance. Absolutely. The thing is, guess what? I'm a wife. I get an allowance and still have access to the entire bank account and the investment account and the savings account. I still have access to all these things as a wife. So the things that they're advertising for, I'm like, a wife can get that too. The things that they're saying that you can have, a wife can have that too. Like I said before, when it comes to a wife, being a wife is the biggest finesse of the century. Just go look at any of these men on social media who got divorced and lost it all. That's why they on social media advertising men never to get married. Because a wife can go in and take it all. A sugar baby is only going to get, even though she might not even get a percentage of it. She get the crumbs. Look at how healed stay-at-home moms have the best bodies, are gracefully, are glowing and adored. Absolutely, absolutely. They're doing the darn thing. And I love looking on social media when I see healthy stay-at-home moms just enjoying life. Even if they're doing nothing but on that video, but cooking or gardening or shopping or going to lunch. I just love to see it. And especially, baby, especially when I see a beautiful brown skinned goddess just enjoying her life and feeling being safe and secure and protected on all levels. But then when I got to go to TikTok and I see the nonsense there, and I see where the women are being led astray, where they're engaging with 304s, and 304s, the thing is, I ain't got no beef with you, but at least advise correctly. Don't sell these girls dreams. Don't sell these girls dreams. Let them know the dark side of the things that you're introducing them to versus trying to make it seem like a fairy tale and a dream and the come up. Stop doing that. That's not right. And it's hard to believe that social media will allow it. I would think their page would get shut down, but it don't. They're actually some of the biggest pages on social media is these 304s, finesses, and sugar babies. Yes, it was obvious. She was a P. When you pointed it out, I was like, what? Because, I know of women. I just didn't catch it. But let me tell you this. You called it. Because I did not catch it. She looks like a worker. Having those girls on those trips look a mess. A good coach will have you actually look fancy with bras on. And they did. And I was like, and these are the women that she's training to do what she says she's able to do. Y'all, the first picture that we have for the Pedestal wife community, you can trust and believe it's going to be banging, because I have absolutely drop dead gorgeous women of the community. I have women that you can't even imagine that's a part of this community, and they're drop dead gorgeous. So when I ever have a get together or a meet, and I will eventually have a meet, you're going to be able to see the drop dead gorgeous and the beauty that resides in this community. And we would never, ever in life put out a picture saying we're the Pedestal wife community with what I saw on social media right there. That let us know that she is not teaching those women anything, because there's no way. There's no way. Even if you come to this community, you're going to level up. It may start on it may start internally first, because y'all know I like to work inside out. So it's going to start internally first. But you're going to level up and you're going to begin to look different. Some of us don't realize that some women look different because they're doing the work internally first. And since they see themselves differently, they have to change their physicality. They have to change their physical looks. And that's what happens when you start engaging and being a part of this community, because we're working inside out. There's no way you could not begin to look better. There's no way you cannot begin to glow. There's no way you cannot begin to think differently. There's no way you cannot begin to excel and evolve and extend. Most of the women that's a part of this community that's been here a long time, Baby, they don't even look like they used to look like. They don't even, because we're working inside out. And that's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. But when you've got people who are out here just trying to get a bag, they're trying to come up off these young women. It's sad and it's deceptive. Because what's going to happen? I did a video, was it last week, when I talked about how beauty fades? Beauty does fade. Like that's just life. That's life. One day you're gonna look up here at me, I'm gonna look different because I'm gonna get older. And yes, I'm looking at the women in my family, and we tend to age gracefully. But eventually, I'm gonna age, and beauty is gonna fade. And what you need to do is make sure you're utilizing and using your beauty to your betterment. But the thing is, people are getting distracted by the wrong things. You're getting distracted by the 304s, the finessers, the P's, the people out here just selling you dreams. They're out here selling y'all dreams. They're getting rich off of you all. And guess what? I don't have a problem with a woman getting rich. I believe, and this is my honest opinion, I believe that as women continue to evolve and level up, that your money's supposed to never continue to be funny. You're supposed to become wealthier and wealthier, because when you unlock yourself and you be in the bag, there's no way you wouldn't become wealthy. You're gonna get to a level of being wealthy and beyond. Okay. Okay, you're talking to someone. Let me I want to post this because I think this is important. It's true inner work has you looking like a new woman. It does. It does. Every time I look at some of the when I first started this community, probably like 3 years ago, I see women, my original pedestal wives who started with the community before there was a community. They look so different because we're working inside out. So when you start working inside out, you start to look different. You start to talk differently. You start to present yourself differently. You start to glow. Things start to happen when you do the inner work outward. And before I go any further there, I'm going to go ahead and let you all know. Y'all see that thing that's flashing across my screen, my banner? The Goddess of Confidence is out. It's ready. Go and get it, especially for those who tell me or talk to me all the time about confidence. You're never going to become more confident until you start doing. The thing is, let me give you something that confident women don't. If you've never spoken to one and you haven't interacted with one, I'm going to tell you from my perspective as a confident woman. Being confident doesn't mean that you are not scared, that you're not fearful. Being confident just means that you do it anyway, that you do it even if you're fearful, even if you're scared. And so now it's time, if you are ready to start the process of becoming more confident and becoming the Goddess of Confidence, because I have an entire story that I'm going to tell about the Goddess of Confidence. And I bet you all don't know that is actually a Goddess of Confidence in the Greek version, Greek mythology. There's a Goddess of Confidence called Philanta. And I'm going to talk about that and how you can apply some of those tips to become the Goddess of Confidence for yourself. But go and get that. It should be down below in the chat. It's called A Goddess of Confidence, and it's actually affordable, very affordable. Trust me when I tell you, I try to do things that's going to be affordable and helpful to my community. And I keep coming across women who are having issues with self-confidence. So I want to help you, but you have to do the work. You have to invest in yourself. I can tell you now, no woman that I have seen grow and level up and become the better version of herself sat back and just waited for it to happen. She invested in herself to make it happen. Confidence is all about doing. You do not become more confident unless you're willing to do. If you're not willing to do, you will never become confident. Loving yourself is magnetic. Seducing yourself and seducing others. Yes, absolutely. SBs provide NSA, no drama, non-committed company, arm candy, activities, and fun in exchange for allowance and gifts. Not sex. It's hard nowadays. If you're sexing, you're better off being a high-class escort. Absolutely. You're better off doing that. And they're not promoting that. Trust me when I tell you, 304s and P's, they're having sex with anyone who pays. They're having sex with anyone that pays. That's the reason why it's very problematic. It's very problematic that they're promoted in that manner. Like I said, it's not my goal to do fire and brimstone and talk badly about the women who are doing these things. It's my goal to let you all know a wife is still honorable. A wife is still a way to secure the bag. A wife can still get access to all of the things that they're advertising. I don't want to be sitting here doing all that. Let me drink a little water. It's getting dry. A wife can still have access to all the things that's being advertised. And you will be able to do it in safety and security and protection. You will have access to all of the things that is of him and all his resources. So they're not promoting it. Like I said before, it's a conspiracy too. You have to realize the matrix, which is the government, wants you to continue to be away from your children and family and be disconnected and to continue to be hustling and grinding, because as long as you're away from that, you're investing and giving your money away to the matrix, to the government. You are constantly disconnected from family and pouring in your children. This way they have access to your children and your money. And so that's the reason why I feel like that it's somewhat of a conspiracy too also. So those who came for me, see, I told you, like, I'm not even mad. I understand when people are projecting and they're angry and you feel like I may be cutting into your cash out, your bag, especially if women start to listen to me, and especially if more women become more interested in marriage and more women become interested in safety and security and provisions from a man, and more women become interested in family and staying home with children, or the more interest I put this out there, I see you all are all in a tizzy. Yeah, that's going on heavy on TikTok too. They just busted a man that was doing it on TikTok and advertising. So that's happening over there. All that stuff is happening over there. That's the reason why I was over there heavy advertising and bringing people into the community and having conversations. But then I started backing away because I'm like, this is a cesspool. This is a energy drainer. And I don't want to cut the account, because since I am over there, it is bringing more positive women over here to find out more about the content in the community. But I do have to deal with the other side of it too, where those women are coming over here calling me names, mad, telling me I don't like women. Like, how do I not love, adore, and want to support women when I'm telling you the truth about what can possibly happen and what your options are? The people who don't love women are the women who are lying to you to get your money. Those women who are trying to cash out on you because they couldn't do those very things that they're telling you to do. So they're advertising and doing master classes to get you in there. I think those women don't love women. Those women see you as a bag. Those women are trying to cash out on you. I think that what I'm putting out here shows that I love women. I love women. I love my sisters. I support women. I'm not up here saying, oh, well, y'all are horrible people for doing these things or engaging in these things. I'm saying there's other options. Don't let these people get you confused. Marriage is still around, and it's still the bag, and it's still the finesse of the century, and it's still the way to level up, and it's still the way to social climb, and it's still the way to have security and safety and protection, and it's still the way to have safe sex with a husband. Imagine that. It's still the way. So y'all mad at me because I'm saying, hey, there's other options? Don't worry, those who tell the truth or despise and look at Jesus. They hate me over there. They hate me over there. I have parameters. I have stuff set up where you can't curse me out on TikTok. But I let them say what they want to say, but they really don't like it. And it's more women than men. I can go, let me preference there. It is more men. Now, every once in a while, I do have some men coming over there talking about they don't like the fact, they like all the rest of the content, but they don't like providing. Those are the dusties. We ain't worried about those broke men. Okay, we ain't worried about those. Those are not the target, they ain't the goal. But I'm surprised it's women coming over there attacking. And it's all because they're upset about the sugaring thing that I'm saying. Like, am I saying or cutting into your profit? No, because some women are still going to go over there. They're going to skedaddle over there and still work with you, because some women are unwilling and unwell. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Some women are unwell. Like, I'm laughing at myself thinking about it, because I kept using unwell when I did the workshop Saturday. And for real, some women are unwell. Like, let's just tell the truth, shame the devil. Some women are unwell and they're deranged and mad. And they hate the fact that I'm telling ladies to get married, because they're saying, oh, marriage is dead. Marriage is not dead. There's going to be some pedestal wives in the community that are going to get married. And they did what you did and cashed out. And that's what you need to do too. And that's my message to young women. If you're currently in that lifestyle, cash out, cash out, cash out, cash out, cash out. Trust me when I tell you, since these women are blowing up the spot, y'all heard that before? You know I'm revealing my age. Since some women are blowing up the spot, the game is supposed to be sold, not told. It's a trend now. It will blow over. Men recognize the game before you do it now, because so many, it's overexposed, and it's going to blow over, and it's going to be a hard thing to do. That's the reason why the women who are legit in that lifestyle are cashing out. They will be getting married, and they're going to be watching you all trying to get in, skedaddling and running to get into that lifestyle. And they've been trying to warn you. Trust me, I haven't met not one sugar baby, finesser, 304, P that are exiting the lifestyle. I haven't met not one of them, the older ones, not tell you that you should try to get married and not go in. It's the young ones who are trying to make a bag off the lifestyle that are encouraging women to get into the lifestyle, but they don't talk about the downfalls of the lifestyle. And so some of the, when they get older, they come to me, and we rewire your brain. We have you see men differently. We have you do the inner work. You level up. You get married. You move around and move along. I think some of y'all think that I was playing when I say I know some women who were strippers back in the day when there was no cameras. Now they're sitting over there at a sedity brunch when they used to strip back in the day. But see, there was no camera and there was no overexposing. So the man don't even know exactly what he married, because one, she's not even the same woman that she was when she was doing those things. Because you're supposed to level up. You're not supposed to continue to do the same thing forever and ever and ever. If you look over your lifestyle and realize that you're not leveling up, you're not moving, you're not evolving, baby girl, what are you doing? Y'all, this is super long. And my youngins, y'all can't stand these long videos. So I know I need to cut this off eventually, even though the conversation is good. A popular piece said a man sent her $60K, but she never shared what she did to get it. Girl, she probably did something in Dubai. She probably did some strange things for change. She probably did. We do not know, because they will say that, right? They're like, I got $40,000. I got $60,000. I seen one who said they got $100,000. And then you realize it's not sugaring that they're doing. They're just using the title to catch young women and get them interested in the lifestyle. And then the women who are, unwell tend to continue forward doing that thing. And the women who understand that, hey, I don't have to do all that to get the money. I don't have to do all that to get the resources. They move around and move along and do something differently. And if y'all listen to the conversations of these women, when they're talking about getting these big lump sums of cash, trust me when I tell you, they ain't just sugaring. Tell the truth, shame the devil. And how about there's another one that is, how do I say this? Because I like I said, it's never my intention ever to blow up anybody's spot. But I find it very interesting that you will promote under sugar babying because it's so popular, but you're not a sugar baby. You're actually in a relationship. Like that's what we have come to now. We have come to people trying to get in a bag and they don't care how to get it. And this means they lead young women down a path that could be disastrous for them, mentally damaging for them, energy draining for them. And what I want to do is bring light to what's currently going on. I don't want women who are currently doing this to feel like that I am, don't get in my comments projecting. Keep that to yourself. Because my goal here is to protect the youngins. That's my goal. Is to protect the babies. At your big age, you can do what you want. You can do what you want and do what you will, knowing that you're not even the goal for this type of lifestyle anyway. You're along the lines of that woman posting her community, and those women were not up to par to be even talking about sugaring or finessing or 304s. They just weren't. And I think if you're going to be the leader of a community, you should have some couth and some respect and pride about your community that you want to represent it well. Like if y'all invested in some of the extracurricular activities, do not add my community to it. Okay, over here we're about committing the greatest finesse of the century. We want it all. We're gonna snatch your soul. We want all of it, every bit of it. So if you are about that, don't try to represent my community in that manner. Because the more I grow, the more I see representation of my community in different spaces that it ain't supposed to be there. Because baby girl, I'm about marriage. I want women to secure a bag. I want you to secure a bag and sit at home and you're safe, provided, and protected. And you can reach out to me and talk about, oh, babe, here, I just had my baby. Look at the baby. And you're at home taking care of your children. You're at home having a good life and living well. Pedestal, I said, once I'm completely out, I'm thinking of teaching about the transition. It's a journey. I've seen a lot. The ones who are mad about you encouraging marriage don't think they're worthy of it. Absolutely. And I think, you know what? I think that's a wonderful idea. I think that's a wonderful idea. Girl, trust me, when you start, let me know. Connect with me. When you start, let me know. Let me know. Because as soon as you start, I want to be on your panel or on your platform, because I definitely have seen some things, heard some things, watched some things. And we have to actually tell the truth and shame the devil. We cannot continue with this farce of craziness where women are getting distracted by what's popular and what's trendy. Marriage is still in. It's still a bag. It's still a level up. It's still a way to social climb. It's still a way to get access to the resources. It's still the easy game. My thinking is, why make it hard on yourself? Why make it hard on yourself? And I think that's the reason why some women are so interested in trying to figure out how to manipulate a man. And that's some more content we're going to focus on and talk about. Like, that's the reason why they want to focus on the manipulation, because they're invested in that lifestyle and they're so used to manipulating. They're so used to having to be in a relationship where they have to be 2 steps ahead of him to get his resources, that they don't know about being in a healthy relationship where there is no manipulation. Back then, men were simple. Simply a lot of wealthy men. I know P's and strippers too. Married to wealthy men. Married to well-to-do men. Excuse me, men. Yeah, I did say it right. I know P's, strippers, 304s, finessers, sugar babies that are married to wealthy men. Married to wealthy men. So I'm never going to say it cannot be done. I'm not one of those people who be like, oh, well, you have this lifestyle, you can't have it. I am saying if you're coming from that lifestyle, you have to do entire retraining of the mind, of the body, of the energy to adjust to a different outlook and perspective of marriage. And that takes work. And some women don't want to they don't want to be honest. Some women are going into that because there's a vitriol against men to a certain level where some women haven't healed. They haven't done the work. They don't want to do the inner work. They think that's hard. And it is. I'm never going to say the inner work is easy because it isn't. It is hard, but it is a good hard. It is a good change. When you work inward, outward, baby, you will look different, act different, talk different, walk different, think different. So it's a good thing. If a guy likes you, manipulation is not needed. It is not needed. And not in the manner these women are doing. It isn't needed. It absolutely isn't. But you know what came to mind when you wrote that? When I did the workshop on Saturday, right? The high vibe dating for evolved pedestal wives workshop. When I did that, one of the pedestal wives made a comment about education. Now, girl, if you hear this, you're gonna know where this is coming from. I understand it now. I see where the education needs to be had first. And then once you have the education, then you can trust in self. Then you can make good decisions for self. Then you can tap in for self. But education is absolutely needed. And that just really brought back to me what she was saying. Because when she said it, it resonated to me at that time and in that moment. And it just came back to me. Yeah, that's the reason why some of this content need to be done. That's the reason why Pedestal, when you decide to create that platform and you ready, girl, let me know. Reach out. We can connect. Because it's absolutely needed. And I think that also we're going to get to a time where you're going to see a lot of women need a whole lot more therapy because they're signing up to stay unwell longer. They're signing up to get in this lifestyle that can do damage. They're signing up to hustle and grind and deplete their energy. So I'm going to tell you this. There's going to be a need for that type of content in the next 5 years or less. Because like I said, trends lose steam eventually and they stop becoming popular. And this is a trend. It will not be popular forever. Not with so many people trying to jump in and get that money and overexpose the game. So eventually it's just going to be a trend. I think the reason those men married those women is because they were already a part of the inner circle and used to the lifestyle. Yeah, to a certain degree. But what I've seen is that those women aren't the same that they were young. A lot of the women that I know that definitely had that background or lived that life, they aren't the same woman. They can't even believe that they did some of those things prior. Okay, so they did a lot of therapy and work. It's rare that I come across a woman who's able to make that transition and she didn't do any work or invest in herself or no therapy. Usually the women who stay in forever and they don't go anywhere, they stay there, that's their lifestyle, they are very damaged individuals. And that's the truth of the matter. And that's the reason why it's my job to speak up, because I know I have access to so many young women. And I know that so many young women are on these social media platforms where they're getting pushed. In their face is, advertisement to be a 3 or 4. In their face is advertisement to be sugar baby. In their face is advertisement to be a pig. All of that is in their face daily. And then these women don't tell the truth of the matter. The dark side of it, they tell them all of the perks. And I'm going to tell you here, majority of the women that are advertising sugar babies are actually peas. That's the thing about it. They're not telling the truth. So young women jump in and they realize what it is. When sugaring, it's hard to work, school, mother, and sugar. It's like a 2 to 3 jobs. Then if you don't work, you have to rely on fickle men. The hustle gets old. You better invest in safe. Absolutely. And the thing is, Pedestal wife, have you realized that some of the women who are doing this and promoting it, they don't talk about saving. They don't talk about investing. They don't talk about cashing out. They just talk about the next bit of the game. They just talk about the next finesse. They just give tips, tactics, and techniques, and they're doing that. But they don't talk about how you got to cash out. Cash out. Cash out. Cash out. Because let me tell you what's currently going on. I'm going to tell you what I know because of the fact that I have access to the women who are currently in this lifestyle legit doing it now. They're cashing out. They're becoming someone's wife. They aren't staying in. So the young women who are running and skedaddle to the platforms like this, they'll tell you just to get married. Get yourself safe, secure, and protection. And still, marriage is still the come up. It's still the level up. It's still the social climb. It is still the bag. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them lie to you about what it really is. Now, ladies, do what you will, do what you want. If you don't like the content, please block me, because it doesn't help me or you for you to waste your energy attacking me on social media. It doesn't help you or me, because all that's going to happen, I'm going to block you. And you mad? I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm living my life. I'm doing what I love. I'm pouring into young women. I'm passionate, intuitive, and creating content for women, so that women can create or have the biggest and best finesse of the season of their life is marriage. You do you, and I'll do me. Just block me. I'll be okay, and you'll be okay. The videos are usually very detached and have a level of emotional unavailability. Absolutely. Robots. Because the thing is, it, like she said, it's very tiring. You don't have any energy if you're constantly trying to be hustle and grind to get to the next finesse. And you're emotionally drained when you're trying to be 2 steps ahead of a man to get to his resources. It's hard to even be in your state of happiness when you're always doing that thing. But I'm going to continue to do what I do what I have called to do what I feel like is best, because I do love women, and I want women to live and level up and live their best lives. I want women to become the dream girls of the version of a dream girl that they desire. I want women to move self-confidently in life and have and go after everything they desire, even in fear. I want the best for women. So I don't hate women. So don't say it, because I love them, or I wouldn't do this. What I could be doing is something other, because this is a hassle sometimes. But make sure you take the time. If you are one of the young ladies who reached out to me talking about confidence and self-confidence, confidence is doing. Go ahead and grab the goddess of confidence. It is affordable. Trust me when I tell you, I don't need your coin. So my stuff is always very affordable, because my target is the average woman. I want you to live better. I want you to do better. I want you to really be there and invest and pour into the next young lady. I want you to do and give back in the manner that I'm giving. I'm pouring into women. I want you to pour into women. And I want that woman to pour into another woman. And then I want another woman to pour into another woman. And I want us to rise up and take our power back. And I want us to take and live the life that we're always meant to be lived. I want us to live in power and protection and safety and security and financial happiness also, and be there for our children and raise them well for the next generation. I want all things that are good for you. I truly do desire that for you. And so I don't have anything else. I just want to have this conversation. I know it was intense, and I know it was a lot, and I know some people may be triggered. Ask yourself why, because it really wasn't that type of party. It was more along the lines of letting young women know that there are other options out here. I'm going to look at this last comment, and then I'm going to close out. And I thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the Pedestal Wife community. I appreciate the women who've been with me since the beginning, before I even had a community. Thank you all. Y'all are rock stars. Y'all the MVP. Thank you so much for showing up. Y'all always show up too. Thank you. You are so right about changing after joining your platform. After retirement, I got really casual where before I would never go out of house not being 100%. I'm back, making sure I'm back all times. Yes, welcome back. Welcome back, love. Welcome back. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the Pedestal Wife community. Welcome to the biggest finesse of the century. Welcome to women who love and want to be married. Welcome to us leveling up and going to our next level in evolution. Welcome to providing and protecting and taking care of women. Welcome, the Pedestal Wife Society. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.